Hello Phoenix Physics students and welcome to Physics 101. This is Robert Austin. I'm your facilitator for this course, and I want to go through a few things to help you get started on the right foot. So first thing to look at is the course syllabus. And really I just want you to concentrate on the very bottom table here. This is my edition, just summarizing what's due each week. So each week you have an interactive overview. You're supposed to respond to a discussion topic and post some replies to other student responses. And you have an assessment exercise, basically an essay based on a online lab that you do during the week. Note here that these times are in Phoenix time. So, find out what time zone you're in and make the correction. For example, I'm on Eastern time. So if I say something's due at 11:59 p.m. Thursday night, that would be about 2:59 a.m. Friday morning for me because I'm 3 hours ahead of Phoenix. Okay, so please get that straight. All right, the rest is pretty standard, so I really won't talk about that. I just wanted you to be aware of the schedule down here. Students get confused about schedules. Here we have the course questions area. This is a good place to post any questions you might have about the course. I can answer, or your fellow classmates might be able to answer some of your questions. So we're in week 1. First thing you probably want to do is introduce yourself to the class. This is completely optional. You're not graded on it. I encourage you to do it. And in fact, I'd like you to say something that's not even listed here, and that is your career aspirations. I mean, why are you at the University of Phoenix and taking this course? And if there's anything you'd like me to know, like maybe you live on a houseboat or something that could interfere with your internet from time to time. Anything like that that might be helpful for me to understand your situation, I suggest you put there. But you're not required to say anything at all, so I just want you to know that. All right, then probably you should start reading the week's material, or at least becoming familiar with it. So that's under learning activities. Your textbook is here. You have a chapter from it each week. I suggest you at least skim it as early in the week as possible. Get some sense of what's in the chapter. You don't have to read everything in detail. You can do that later. And also, you probably should be aware of how you can reference this material, because references are required for your weekly assessments. And this is a required reference. I don't care if you look at Wikipedia or Encyclopedia Britannica, but make sure one of your references is this textbook, and you can click right on this icon right here to get a citation. There it is, and do a Control-C to copy it, and then you can paste it wherever you want later. So just paste it into your essay as a reference later in the week. All right, so that is that. And then, once you're somewhat familiar with the material, you probably should go to the weekly discussion. And note here, it says due Thursday. Don't go necessarily by this date. This is for the whole assignment. And again, like I said, I'm on Eastern time. That's why it says 2:59 a.m. next Tuesday. That corresponds to 11:59 p.m. August 12th, Monday, okay, in Phoenix. Everything goes by Phoenix time. Anyway, click on this, and it asks you some questions, some things to think about. So by this coming Thursday, Phoenix time, you're going to get sick of hearing me say that, but it seems like I can never say it enough because students don't seem to understand, or at least some students have struggled with time zones. So it's just the fact that the world is big and we live in a big country, and some people even live outside this country who take this course. And you need to know what time it is in Phoenix at the current moment. So that would be Thursday, August 8th, okay, that you should post a response meeting these requirements here. So at least 175 words, and trying to respond to all these prompts here and here. Now, I read your responses. I'm not super critical about anything. Sometimes there are definitely right answers, but all I look at is the effort that you sincerely tried your best to answer it, and make sure it has 175 words, and post it by the Thursday of each week, and you're probably fine as long as you also reply to your fellow classmates. And this is due by the end of the week. Our weeks end at 11:59 p.m. Phoenix time on Monday. So in this case, the first week will end at 11:59 p.m. Phoenix time, Monday, August 12th. So by that time, you should post 2 replies. Either, you can reply to something I post or what your fellow classmates post. Right? So you have 1 response due Thursday and 2 replies posted any time during the week, must be in by this coming Monday, the end of the week, for you to receive full credit. Otherwise, I start deducting points if you're late. Also, students wonder how many words for the replies. It's not specified. I don't count the words. I suggest at least 75 words. That's just a rule of thumb. You could probably say what you need to say in fewer words. Just make sure it's substantive. Don't say, I like your name, or I agree with you. If you agree with somebody or disagree with somebody, say why you feel that way. Also due Thursday, this isn't worth that much and it doesn't take much time. It's the interactive overview. And the purpose of it is to give me a sense of how you feel you're doing at that point in the week. Now, this is the first week. I'll be surprised if you have much sense of how you're doing by Thursday because you've never had any feedback. Nevertheless, just do your best. Look over the material. Now it says what you need to do this week. These are the things you need to do, but they don't need to be done by the time you do the interactive overview. Just get a sense of what's expected of you during the week to get a feel for how you think you're doing or might do. So you have these options here. I'm going to say very confident. Whoops, I can't even type. And I'm going to explain why I feel very confident. I feel very confident because I'm the facilitator. Okay. At this point, you could submit it. Okay. If you save and close and don't submit, I'll never see it and I can't grade it. That goes for any of these kinds of assignments, like the assessment as well. It would ask you to submit it. You can always save it and come back later, but I won't be able to grade it until it's submitted. And when you submit it, it will send a confirmation to your email address, and if you want, you can download the confirmation as well. All right. And then it comes to the assessment. So We have the states of matter simulation. Here's your assignment guide. These are the instructions for the simulation, so make sure you open that up. You might want to download it. And it's always good to move it to one side of the screen, easy reference. And then open the simulation. Now you have to follow directions. So it says to select states, because there's two options for the simulation. Make sure you select the correct option that's given to you in the assignment guide. So there you are. And then you just follow the directions. Okay? Just go through step by step. To run the simulation takes you maybe 10 minutes or so. It doesn't take that long. But pay attention to things you see like the temperature. Quantitative information is important. That means numbers. Also qualitative information. So describe in simple words what you're observing. Make sure, now here by default it's on neon. Also it says to select oxygen, so make sure you select oxygen and then follow the steps. Now I've summarized the rubric here in these numbered sentences. So I'm going to base your grade on how well I thought you described what you did in your simulation, how well you described your observations. I want some numbers, sometimes there's temperatures to look at, pressures to read. I want some examples of numbers. While you're doing the simulation, you should have some questions. Even if you think you know the answer, go ahead and pose the question in your essay, because I grade based on that. If there's no question, you'll lose some points. It asks you to discuss two specific ideas from the reading. By reading, we're referring to your textbook, 6 Easy Pieces. I already showed you how to link to that. So make sure you refer to your textbook and cite what ideas, and it's always good to say, Feynman on page whatever said this, which I saw. I can relate to the simulation, something like that. Then it asks you a question to make a statement about what you learned about atomic motion. So some kind of general statement about atomic motion that you learned or that was made really clear to you by working through the simulation. And then check your spelling and punctuation, your grammar. It doesn't count for much here. I mean, if you look at the rubric, you'll see that there's not a lot of points associated with that, 2% of your grade or 3% for use of language. Now, use of language, that's sort of vague for me, but I usually leave that alone and give you full credit. But sometimes students, I don't know, they have their fingers on the wrong keys when they're typing. They might type gibberish by accident. And if I can't make sense of what you type, then I'm going to take some points off for that. So it's always good to proofread what you write before you submit it. You could write your essay in Word or some other application and then just paste it in here. Or you can, let me get rid of this rubric here. Or you can upload the Word document. If you do it in a Word document or a PDF, you can upload as an attachment. Okay, I'm just going to upload the assignment guide, I guess, for reference here. So you can attach an assignment guide. If you wait a second, it should open up in the box. And this is what it's converting right now. This is what I'll see. Now, I don't want you to do that. I want you to write, a 2-paragraph or 3-paragraph essay following these rules. So at least 260 words. It's not a very long essay. I don't really count words, but I doubt you can say much in fewer than 260 words. So that, again, that's a rule of thumb. Most students go over that a bit, and that's fine. Okay, that's it. And when you've completed it, make sure you hit the submit button. Okay. That's all for now, and good luck.